sought medical help after the vaccine. That's, and then, theirs, which theirs is unreliable, but it's not unreliable because it's overestimated. It's unreliable because it's underestimated. And this is the CDC's own study says it undercounts injuries by between 10 and 100.
All right, welcome back. This is the Dave Bino Show. You know who I am, Prince Rael of the Hall Clan, the L Clan, the Hall L Clan, the Hall L Bay Clan, the Hall L Ill Clan, the Hall L Ali Clan. My nationality, indigenous or aboriginal presence is spoken for itself. And yes, I am an American or Al Moroccan. They're the same thing. Don't get it twisted. Most people think that it's over there okay. But nonetheless, we want to finish talking about this gang stalking and how they want to isolate you to trap others and to trap people like you. And here's the problem. Isolation does what to people when they're not mentally stable? It literally drives them crazy. It makes them feel ashamed and not a part of a group or not welcome. It makes them feel embarrassed. It makes them feel like they're frauds or they're not real. No one will believe you. No one will trust you. You're an eyesore to the community or the public or whatever. The isolation that they use in the gang stalking method, it deals with nothing less than the Adjustment Bureau. You need to go watch that movie. The Adjustment Bureau is a film that talks about how they control people's lives to get certain people to do certain things. They kill people. They remove people from your life. They tricked and deceived people into going into different directions when it was meant for them to be together, or it was meant for them to go in the same direction, or meant for them to have a different outcome of life. The Adjustment Bureau, to me, is definitely the gang stalking apparatus. It is their mentality. They want to isolate people and make them feel like, as my puppies run around here, they want you to feel like if you're a targeted individual or TI, they want the targeted individuals to feel like, you're in trouble and we watching you and you better do what the hell we say and shut up and sit down. Well, that's why I am pushing for certain people to become leaders in leadership within a continent that has many nations. America is made up of well over 100 nations. You have the Choctaw, the Cherokee, the Seminole, the Iroquois, et cetera, et cetera. Then you got people from Ireland and Scotland and Israel and Jamaica and Bahamas, and so all these people make up the melting pot of this landmass we call America. But America has many Americans. It's like they said in the Civil War movie, what kind of American are you? Which is very dangerous to even make that statement in a film like that can influence people to start thinking that way. But that's what the gang stalking mentality is. It's to get people to think a certain way and to do certain things so that the people who set this up are not being looked at as the persons who created this problem for other people. And so gang stalkers, I feel sorry for you. Like I said, I agree with some of these children, these young men, young women, who say we need to pray for you. Your life is pretty bad. You're this, you're that. They're right. Your life is very bad. You're getting a little paper, a little card, some grocery money, whatever, to harm and possibly harm yourself. And which is kind of crazy. It's very, very, you have to be insane to do something like that. And let me tell you why. Here's many of you calling yourselves Christians too, and this is crazy. That's why, again, I'm gonna go right back to where I was, turning from and going right back into a U-turn. The reason why I'm saying vote for Robert Kennedy Jr. is because, and I almost went hood, is because his policies make sense for today's times. Not 2028, not 2012, not 2020, not 1908, not 1950, not 1980. Right now, because of all the abuse of authority and power that the people who think they're the powerful ones have been abusing. And we're talking about people who control the people who think they're in power in these here Americas. And really don't understand you don't have any power. Mother Nature is the final authority, and the Most High, the Creator, is the explanation on that final authority. So I'm saying the things that we're looking at today, we're being divided. People are in their homes. You got civil wars going in people's homes right now. People are getting divorced left and right. They're splitting up. They don't know how to work together. You got, with the gang stalking program, the communities on patrol, the patrollers are in positions in certain places. Let's say you have solar power on your house. You got 28 panels. But your bill, your energy bill with Nevada Energy is still $300. While your friends and community neighbors and family that you know got 6 to 8, 10 panels on their house, their bill is like $10, $15. And I can't make this up. They showed us the bills. We were like, what? How is our bills always $200, $300? Not only that, we have battery backups on everything that we have, including in the recording studio. These things are huge. They're about this big, and they're surge protectors as well as battery power supply backups. So if the power goes out, you hear a beep, it'll click over, and then the power still remain on, and I believe it stays on between 8 to 12 hours. So you still have power. It's like having solar power, but you have it in a battery that you get the power from the wall. So I'm never using, if this studio is on, and if all this equipment was working, because if it was all working, I can understand a high energy bill. But because it's not all working, but let's say this, we got on these three, we got on this, and that, and then we got the speakers on. And the energy is being drawn from the battery from being plugged into the wall for so many hours, so many days, so many weeks, so many months. And the energy, I am not constantly pulling a surge from the wall. So if imagine you have that on top of solar panels. Explain to me a $200, $300 electric bill when I have this sitting on my home. It doesn't make sense. And this is from day one. It didn't matter. Matter of fact, let me retract that. The first 3 months in 2019, the electric bill was down to $15. After that third month, it jumped up to $200, $300, and we were trying to figure out what happened. And they were like, oh, maybe something not working in your solar power. Maybe Tesla didn't do something right. And we had it checked out, and they were like, nah, man, I believe they're just overcharging you. And they're doing it because they feel like they can do it. So, in that, with the gang stalking, they have people in places. Like I said, go watch Luther the Falling Sun. Go watch The Adjustment Bureau. I mean, there are many, many movies where they show you how they interact on the outside of your life to force you down this tunnel or this funnel to get you to do their will. Their will be done, and not thy will. The Most High's will be done. And that's dangerous because nature is peeking his head. Look in Texas. I'm going to use this as an example. I'm not a witch or a warlock, or I don't have any magical powers. I am just powerful, period. But there was a place that was trying to prevent future-elect President Robert Kennedy Jr. from being on the polls as running as for president. That place is Texas. did they not just get hit with a storm? I don't know. So anyway, once again, the scripture says this, and this is funny. Majority of your gang stalkers are definitely Christian-based people. I'm not making this up. So let's go to the Bible. Let's go to the New Testament. Love thy neighbors as thyself. Matthew 22:36 through 40. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? The law, nature, balance. And Yeshua ben Yahweh, y'all call him Jesus, he replied, love the Lord your God, your master, your creator, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And then he said the second is like the same, or the second is like it, meaning it's equal. It's the same thing. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. All the law, nature, it definitely hangs on these two commandments. Love your creator, your God, and love your neighbor as yourself. With all your heart, your might, your strength. Now, what gang stalking does is causes such an interruption of hate versus love. And in that, we get what? We get violence and break-ins and robbery and people saying they foreclosed on your house, but then turn around and call you a trespassing person who is walking in and renting somebody else's house out and all this other crazy stuff. I mean, come on, man. You ain't loving your neighbor as yourself, but these are the greatest two commandments, and you run off to church on Sundays, or you act like you this, you act like that. Well, if this is the greatest two, and one is like the other, and all the prophets hang on these two commandments because it is all law, then who the hell are you? Like they said in the scriptures. Satan we know, Yeshua we know, but who are you? Who are you? We don't know you. That's why these people were creating such a demonic attack on their lives. And look, I ain't got to make this up. They make a demonic attack on their lives because of the karmic energy. Look, man, you send it out there, it's coming right back. Here's the best part about karma, or the scripture would say, whatsoever a man sows, he shall reap. If he sow to the flesh, he shall reap corruption. If he sow to the spirit, he shall reap life. Now,
the human being is a monster. So that's what, when you walk into court, this is how they're looking at you. Let's take a look at what monster says. A monster is a human being by birth, but in some part resembling a lower animal. A monster hath no inherent blood, and cannot be the heir to any land, albeit it be brought forth in marriage. The banking system, or the banksters or gangsters or whatever you want to call them, have collectively, through thousands of years, have set up a situation where they can manipulate people to superimpose a legal system that is not based entirely on law, it's based on commerce. Most people, unfortunately, are so ignorant of what the law is. They just are used to functioning in a consensus reality that, at 18 or 16, everyone gets a driver's license, and, when I work, everyone fills out a 1040 IRS tax form, or because he said, or because your parents said, or because your parents were particularly indoctrinated in a system where everyone is functioning perpetually in this let's pretend game. Okay, so what are we talking about here? We're talking about a let's pretend game. This guy, it's on a piece of paper only. That's the certificate of live birth. That's the B-stroke 6. That's the let's pretend game. You won't find a spiritual being in the law dictionary, but you'll find the definition of a person. But peculiar enough, the definition of a person, they try to get you caught up with a natural person. But how do you define a word with its own word? That's a peculiarity in itself. So person includes a natural person, a firm, a co-partnership, or an association, or a limited liability company or corporation. The entire essence of the let's pretend game is to get you to be one of these things, a corporation functioning in a state of fascism, in a limited liability world, a let's pretend game. The system cannot perpetuate itself without you.
You know, what we have to look at is the president is the chief executive officer of this corporation called the United States of America. Of this corporation called the United States of America. You know, what we have to look at is the president is the chief executive officer of this corporation called the United States of America.
Okay, so plain and simple, loving your neighbor. But if you have some mental illnesses, some issues, some mental issues, you struggle, you don't love yourself, how can one love their neighbor as themselves? It'd be more like a love-hate or a hate thing. Because a positive person is not drawing the hate and the attacks of loving and positive people. They're drawing the attacks of hating people. That's why I wrote the song Haters, Hating on Me. And we got like 4 tracks on that song. I'm going to make sure it's played on the back of this right here. And so, Pete, here it is today. It's 2024. And people have not learned the lessons of what hate can do. And we're talking about going all the way back to the 50s and 60s when they murdered people because the so-called people who think they run the world, they want to be in power, and so they do things to remove people. And that's the gang stalking. There are people in play to get people in that position. Remember, JFK was invited to Texas, and then they created the opportunity. That's gang stalking. That's why I know with the next president, we're going to be pushing to get that shit removed, and anyone doing that and those who are helping them do it will get anywhere from 25 years to life for doing that shit. Because that is a very dangerous thing. You're creating a civil war within a already messed up state of mind and consciousness. So, love your neighbor as yourself. We'll do it again. The disciples, his disciplines, his 12 disciplines, his followers, and let me say this let me interject this real quick. Don't get caught up on how many people are following you. I don't tell people to like, subscribe, and follow me on my pages because I want you to be drawn by the Spirit. I don't want the average. See, that's how you get all them people that be in there talking crazy and doing stuff and drawing negative attention to stuff that ain't got nothing to do with what we doing here and what we talking about. Plain and simple. So, if like Yeshua ben Yahweh, y'all call him Jesus, Jesus only had 12 followers or 12 disciplines or 12 people who were disciplined enough to follow. And the reason why that was the case is because there was no need to teach more than 12, or let's go to the zodiac chart. How many disciplines or disciples or zodiacs are there on the chart? 12. Supposed to be 13. That's why I wrote the album 13 Frequencies to Elevation. But the average person, how you going to follow one person and you're in a room competing, and this is what happens. You're in a room competing with 50, 100, 150,000, 2 million, 10 million people. Let me tell you something. You're just another number, and they like, thank you for your support, because that's all you're doing is supporting them. You're not supporting your own dreams and your visions. And I'm not going to ruin anybody's life trying to get them to help me build up my empire, which is already built and established, thanks to my foremothers and forefathers, my ancestors. And all I did was pick up the mantle and start pushing it in the right direction. But how can I be responsible for more than 12 people or 13 people or 50,000 people when, I messed up. I don't love myself, so I'm going to love my neighbor as myself. I'm going to hate my neighbor like I hate myself. And so here it is. It says right here, and Yeshua, y'all call him Jesus, replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment. Lord means law, nature, creation, creativity. And the second is like it, meaning it is the same. It's just like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law, nature, and all the prophets hang on these two commandments. Meaning this, the law and prophetic power hang on those two commands or disciplines. Disciples, disciplines. If you're not disciplined to love yourself and treat yourself right, we can tell by how your body is. You're sick, you're mentally ill, you're doing things, you're doing what you would do to yourself to other people. I got you. I screwed you over. Yeah. There's something wrong with you, man. Something's wrong. Prayer and hugs is not going to heal that. That individual is going to have to go within themselves and heal themselves. This is one of the biggest problems that we have with our so-called society and the many different nations in our. We got culture and a partner of mine. We were talking the other day. We were talking about how society, culture, and family and traditions and religion do cause problems in people's mental health. It does. If let's say this, and I had this conversation in prayer with my cohort this morning. If I am used to going to church and I was raised in the church, and I'm gonna show you this. This is very powerful. I was raised in the church, but I was taught by fear, and I was going to hell if I didn't tithe, give 10% or pay tribute to somebody in the church behind the pulpit who said I should be paying tribute to or giving tithes. If I didn't follow God's words or the Creator's words, if I didn't obey the pastor who was supposedly preaching the Creator's words, if I stepped out of line, I was going to hell. So I was afraid to not go to hell. Not me, I'm just saying the people I know who think like this and thought like this, and they saved themselves. So, and let's go to the other spectrum. You got somebody who grew up in a household of racism, and they were raised as Nazis or KKK or the mob rules type of mentality, and they were taught to hate certain people because of the way they look. Not even getting to know people. You don't even know your neighbor. You don't even understand what's going on. You're reacting, not responding. You're reacting to what someone taught you. And so when that person gets older, let's look at both sides. The person that was told they're going to hell if they don't do this stuff, fear-based, afraid to get out of line. How the hell they going to live? How they going to love themselves, and then how they going to love their neighbors? Then you got somebody who's raised to be a KKK or a skinhead or Nazi or mob ruling type person because you ought to hate people who don't look like you, and you need to hate people with black skin, brown skin, Jews, and this and this. You need to do all this hate. You're taught this. What you think you're going to produce when they get older? What you think is going to be the production value of these individuals? It's going to be chaotic. On one part, you got the person who's scared, and then you got the other part, the person is full of anger because they should hate somebody just because they should. They have a right to hate because this is their country, and their country says they should be what? Able to chase everybody out that don't look like them. It ain't like them. And then the person that fears them runs into this person full of hate, and then they clash. And then you got a clash. And now this clash has become a triangle of danger. It can affect the neighbors. Let's say this side here is the neighbor. This side here is children, innocent children. And this side here is the state of the mental state of everybody seeing it. And then here at the tip is a resolution to say, hey, you don't like people, just go on about your business, man. Leave people the hell alone. It ain't got nothing to do with you why they were born in this earth, the way they look and how they feel, and it ain't your business. Go on about your business. But nobody chooses the latter. They always choose the base, the foundation of problems and issues. They don't love themselves. Ain't no way in the hell you telling me a person full of hate or full of fear love themselves. You can't do it. It's impossible. I challenge anybody to show me that a person full of fear, unless they heal themselves of that fear, can love themselves and then love their neighbor. It's impossible. But this is what the gang stalking is. The gang stalking idea is to get you in such a isolated position to where you are trapped in this pyramid. And in this pyramid, here you are in the middle. Don't know what to do. You're scared. You got fear. Then after a while, you get spiteful and you get hatred. Then you don't listen to the consciousness, the tip. You don't listen to the higher self, and you fall to the bottom just like everybody else, and you get boiled in the pot just like frogs do. And think if you just jump on top and get higher than the other people at the bottom, you're gonna be all right. Eventually, that pot's gonna be boiling over, and you'll be dead. You just won't realize it. And to me, that's what the rapture's gonna be like. People ain't realizing what they're doing. And let me tell you something what hate does and fear does. Fear causes stress. It causes delusional episodes. It causes bipolarism. Look, man, fear can be dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Hate is the same thing, just more aggressive. Fear is less aggressive. Anger is more aggressive. The person that hates is creating an environment of negativity that is bound to return to themselves. Oh, I hate this person. And you go out and drink with your buddies and you smoke and your heart says, oh, we got problems here, man. All this anger and all this negativity is winding up in your blood cells. Now, keep in mind, you can go do the research, do the studies. Everybody on this planet has what they call cancer cells in their body. Some have it greater to the amount where it's hereditary, as they call it. Some have it to the amount where it's just dormant, and as it should be. But when you got fear and anger, you're going to manifest in your body, and that's going to cause you to kill yourself. Nobody has to do nothing to you, man. This is a reality. I'm not making this up, and I'm not being cold or spiteful. But this is what's going on with this 2024 election, with all this division and negativity and hatred, that people don't realize that they're creating the negativity and the hatred and the fear mongering. And if you don't elect me, we gonna lose our democracy. This is a republic. Now, I knew you may have grown up in Canada and your roots is really Jamaica and India, but let me tell you something. This is a republic. This is a republic, sister girl. So let me help you out. I'll play the videos and y'all can. Some people shouldn't even be running because it's illegal. It's unconstitutional for people to be running. But that's why they put people in certain positions just in case we can't get them in there this way. We'll squeeze them in on this way and trick the people on that. So you got all this negativity. Then you got, let's say this. Let's say you didn't get vaccinated. Do you know they were hating on people and they were stalking people who didn't get vaccinated? This is what a world. Do you know that there are also people who don't want to be a part of the system? They don't vote. They don't get involved. Some people claim, like myself, we cling to our indigenous, aboriginal nationalities. We don't want to be involved in that. This is really crazy. You know what they call you? Sovereign citizens. You have the sovereign citizen syndrome. This guy thinks he's sovereign by itself. Let me hear. Notice. Putting you all on notice. Never called myself a sovereign citizen. Someone else did. And they had to do that in the guise of trying to create the illusion to why we should be gang stalking or community on patrol, policing this dude. Why we need the police? Because he's dangerous. He thinks he's a sovereign citizen. Or he tried to sue this person. He tried to sue that person. Who he think he is. He's a pauper. When you're chasing after my wealth, you're obviously using my identity. If I'm the poor one, why would you think I'm going to use somebody's identity who's poor, a pauper? Pauper is poorer than a poor. A pauper is less than a poor person. Go look it up. So this is what they do. They made a war on those whom religiously do not jab themselves for the causes made up or created or was supposed to happen. And you're supposed to stand 6 feet away from each other and all this other stuff they were doing. And look here, man, let me tell you something. That didn't stop that shit from spreading. It didn't stop people from getting sick or sicker. And now today, everybody's talking about they got heart disease and they got this and that. And look at the stress and the anger and the mental illnesses after that. That's the aftermath. But you wanted me to do it too. I don't think so. I ain't falling for that bullshit. So that's why they want you to sign these contracts to get you in here. And I'll tell you right now, I said it before, probably in the first or second video. We probably on the 6th, 7th, or the 8th. They made y'all sign a hold harmless agreement. That means you hold them harmless to what you're willing to sign up for and do and partake in. And when you do that, legally, you can't go after these people lawfully. And in that case, you just took on the responsibility and accountability of being deceived, of being mentally ill, hating on your neighbor on your own. It's on your shoulders now. It's your problem. So the facts of reality they created with all this crazy stuff. They say the country. This continent is divided. It's already hundreds of different nations here. But the country is divided. This landmass is divided based on ideology, mentality, and thought and opinions, not reality. That's the reality is that we're not in reality, or they're not in reality, because all this hate and negativity. You can't love yourself, so how you gonna love your neighbor? It's easier to hate someone, and in that, in the hate, it's easier for you to make things appear to be that it was never there. Oh, you signed a contract with Fannie Mae and Penny Mag, and that's why we know. And aren't you a third party? And if I don't have a contract with these people, and they told you that, let's go down here and check the public records. You can see it ain't even in the damn chain of title. What are you talking about? You don't even know what you're talking about. So, look here, man. Mental illness. Love your neighbor as yourself. You can't do it. You don't love yourself. You hate yourself. Many of you will hate yourself and become so downtrodden, you're on your way out of here. That's not my hope. My hope is that there's peace and love throughout this universe and on this planet, in this plane, and on this continent itself. We're the leaders of the world. At least we were, and we can't even get shit together. Look at all these things breaking out in the world. People are rioting damn near in Peru and Europe and Africa. It is popping off right now. And you know why? Because of this hate mentality. And when you want to demise, you want to disassemble, you want to disassemble and break down people from coming together, you put programs like this together, which is sick in the freaking head. So, many are under this contract. Many of them are here to keep their homes. Many are doing this gang stalk to keep their jobs or to keep themselves out of prison or jail, to stop having to pay a certain tribute to people. To even, they holding things ransom. Could hold your family, could hold threats of doing stuff to your family, or maybe, like I said, go look at Luther, the fallen son. Amazing on what they're doing. What they hold ransom, your identity, or maybe it's your reputation. Hey, we saw you on this child pornography website. We finna put your shit out there if you don't go take care of this. If you don't go hate on this person, I need you to drive your car down there and bump them in the back of their car and yada yada. Man, this is a sticker, man. So anyway, so they use this sovereign citizen stuff. They say you're anti-government. They say this, and there's no facts. This is all slander. It's all defamation. It's defamation of character. And when they write it down, it becomes libel. And there's some idiots I know who wrote it down and put it on a court docket. Not making this up. Man, look here. If you really want to know, you want to go to my private pages, and I'm going to have it posted. I'm going to have this, not public. This is going to be private. So, the types of people who are in this COPS program or this gang stalking program, some of them are former police. I'm not kidding you. The guy down the street, Ron, was former police and got connects in Nevada and Las Vegas with the police department, sheriffs, and the constable. And there was also somebody who worked for was on the board who had a family member who worked for the constable. We saw him down there. It's amazing. There are people, you talk about nepotism? I gotta be careful with this. LeBron's boy, and I ain't saying LeBron's son is not good enough to make it to the NBA. I'm not saying he is. From what I see, I haven't seen nothing yet. And by the time he gets to the first game playing with the Lakers, who knows? Shaq was ready instantly. You threw him in. Kobe, it took a few years, but he finally got it. One time he got to his third year, he won the championship. So we don't know. But again, nepotism is a problem, whereas people are in positions. This is what they call deep state. Deep state is when it's so deep stated that there's nepotism going on and their friends doing favor and family doing favor and covering stuff up. And that's dangerous. Again, that's still gang stalking. And the types of people are plain and simple. Some of them are former police. I remember the drug dealer behind us over there on Farnborough Court. He claimed that he was a former police officer. And to me, there's a connection with the former police and the gang stalking. To me, there's a connection. And when he went away, they appeared. And I'll say this again, I said it before. Drug dealer, they find him in between the walls. He'd been hiding. They've been made several attempts before we got there. And then when we moved in 2018, I think they got him in 2019. But they made several attempts while we were there. And they made several attempts before, and this dude would disappear in the house. So they couldn't find him. This time they found him. They said they found him in the walls. No, I'm not making this shit up. Man, this is crazy. So the type of people, wannabe people want to be police, people who want to be FBI, CIA, they're going to do certain things. Then you got drug addicts and drug dealers and people who want to get favors. And so if you want a favor, you want to get off on something, you want me to slide to the right or the left, come and do the program, man. We don't like this guy. We want you to not like him. You got to have hate for this dude, and we want you to hinder him and harass and make his life miserable. Hopefully he'll unalive himself, as everybody's saying. He'll kill himself. And so he'll murder himself. He'll commit suicide. And boy, I tell you, it's a sad day. And that's why, again, I will inject again Kennedy. Let's take a pause.
Yeah, gets lonely at the top, baby. I got a few friends here and there, some real ones, but I keep the fake friends close to me. Yeah. So I can keep my eyes on them. You know the type of fake bad friends that try to run up on me. You know what I'm talking about. I'm real. Look at the faded jeans, the vehicle machines, one, maybe two, bling blings. I'm real. The houses, the acres, the land, record labels with hip hop and rock and roll bands, baby. I'm real. Now look at my baby girl, the clothing line, Beano way, faded yellow diamonds and pearls check me out. All praises to the God I'm rich. Brothers, sisters, I'm rich, and all along I gotta stay on the down low. Incognito, don't wanna be a flashy Negro in all the videos, boasting, bragging, no free around. Don't wanna play a track, let alone the sound. Now Beano, baby, own it all. Yep. From yachts to planes, mad land with waterfalls. Yes, I want it all. From new socks to draws, full court, school to basketballs. I'm a hall, not your ordinary, contrary rap star. I'm a full-grown hip-hop man who crafted his art. A star that shines all the time. You can feel me gleaming when you hear my rhymes. I'm sublime over the average. I shine at night like highlighted messages. You can find me on MTV, Cribs, and MTV. see how I'm living. I'll be the only brother doing the taking and the getting. Check me out, I'm rich. Look at the faded jeans, the vehicle machines, 1, maybe 2, bling bling. I'm rich. The houses, the acres, the land, record labels with hip hop and rock and roll bands, baby. I'm rich. Now look at my baby girl, the clothing line, Bean away, baby, yellow diamonds, check it out, check me out. All things to the God I'm rich. Brothers, sisters, I'm rich, and all alone got this. I'm more than a face, I'm a presence, and effervescence. When God said, give me a king, I said present. Predestinated teaching lessons, now I'm related to recording sessions with compressions. Engaged kid, let's face it, my wealth came with the price, sky's the limit. Set miles high with all types of crooks up in it. So I finished last, but came in first. Go check God's word, chapter and verse. The threshold hurt. But in order for Bino to get way up here, I had to put in work, crushing jerks who sell bitches out for their own riches. Now get this, when I expose the witches, they slip their wrist quick. I spit not for the fame, fortune, and honeys. I was sent to prove you really don't need all that money. All you need is a vision and a written down plan. Get it out there, but watch out for the greedy man. Look at the faded jeans, the vehicle machines, 1, maybe 2. Give me 9 million, what do you think? The houses, the acres, the land, record labels with hip hop and rock and roll bands, baby. And I'm watching. Now look at my baby girl, the clothing line. Away, baby, yellow diamonds and pearls took me out. All rich through the God I'm rich. Brothers, sisters, I'm rich, and all alone got it. I like my faded jeans and a clean, crisp sports coat. I ain't mad cause I quote unquote see the cash doing what I do, so I take notes. Follow the leader, bigger niggas, and I hope you forever stay clean. Under attack by the busted scene within steam rooms, believing you created. From the government to thugs, it's all criminal related. Wasn't printed because that's my humble statement. I'm a very powerful man. It didn't take selling drugs for me to make it. You can keep your favorite, just know it was all created by David and the vision God gave it. So yeah, it took a lot of hard work and patience, diligence, determination, and a lot of frustration to make it. Past the crooks, scams, and false prophets who claim to be my mothers and my fathers. You better stop it. I'm rich. Look at the faded jeans, the vehicle machines, 1, maybe 2, bling bling. I'm rich. The houses, the acres, the land, record labels with hip hop and rock and roll bands, baby. I'm rich. Now look at my baby girl, the clothing line, Bean away, baby, yellow diamonds and pearls, check me out. All praises due to God I'm rich. Brothers, sisters, I'm rich, and all alone got this.